Hello everyone, welcome to Live from the Studio. Today I'm receiving Christie Blizard. First, launching the intro. Welcome everyone, I'm with Christie Blizard today. Hi Christie.
Hello, how are you?
Doing good. I see I've got a lot of people coming in. Alright, I'll do the news and I'll do a bit the list of everyone. Change that screen. Handling all the stuff. So first, you know my website, pishimango.org. Learn more information and you can subscribe to my newsletters there. I want to say thanks to my supporters on the Bandcamp. I need to remove this pop-up. I want to say thanks to my supporter on the Bandcamp. Without you, that wouldn't be possible. If you want to join them, then just go to Bandcamp, join my community. It's only $20 per year and allow me to do many things. Also, Memory Lane, phuturo, reminding me that it's about 2 years ago that we did the FM+1 mystery event with Particle Fields, Jack Hammer, who passed away, and Riven Reverie 2 years ago at the Armory Club. And on this time where we can't have meetings and events, it's a reminder. And you can watch all of it on YouTube. So if you want to know more FM+1 mystery event, I'll put the link here. All right. What I wanted to talk. Oh yes, there's an event coming just after the show from the Southern California Synth Society. It's a Nameless Modular Madness. NAMM couldn't happen this week, so everybody is doing some streaming. There's also a NAMM online. I think I've got a visual for that, so let me launch that and we'll be back. So here you go, plenty of peeps that you know. Nathan Modi, Alphastar was on the chat, I saw him. Who I'm missing was from around here. Sign Mountain, I'm going to receive it in 2 shows from here. And plenty other awesome people. Please check it out. I'm gonna put you the link. And also Traversy also is part of it. I put the link. Another thing also is that my friend Khalib is doing a show tomorrow at 5 p.m. I think you need a couple more subscribers to be able to have a decent link on his YouTube channel, but it's mainly on Facebook, but I can use a YouTube link. So you see, you may want to maybe mute speaking, and so we, yeah, so is doing the show 5 p.m. You can follow it live on YouTube or on Facebook, and I'm saying that because he's receiving Todd Barton, which is a Modular Synth and Bukla artist, so please check it. Other things, I saw that there is a competition to do quadraphonic, I don't know, mixed in stereo, or it's not mixed, it's uncoded in stereo. As there's a new plugin, so I submitted a track. It's on SoundCloud. I don't use SoundCloud much, but they wanted a submission, and it would be awesome if you could join it too and create a quadraphonic track and then have it encoded in a stereo channel. And the encoder allow you to decode it back to quadraphonic, so that's what is cool. What else do I have? Teeny Crush mixing. This is Hugo R. Paris who does mixing for you. And there is a discount code for 10% for it. Once you've done the mixing, then you can send it to Nathan for master. Is a Teeny Crush mixing with Hugo R. Paris. What else do I have? Malaki released a new album. No, not a new album, a new track, Apparition. Check it out. Back here. else do I have in my news? Also, Chris Ochi has released a new album, Merlin's Voice. I'm receiving Chris Ochi on the next show. So listen to this music and then we can talk about it. That will be in 2 weeks. Finally, what else do I have? I've got Interphone also, who has released a new album. And Bandcamp Friday is on the 5th of Feb, so I guess next Friday. On the other show, you've got Resonant Frequency, that was on January 3rd. I guess the next one will be in 2 months' time. And if you want to know more, then it's a ResFrec Live. Resident is coming up on the 9th of Feb. I've got a full lineup. If you want to know more about Resident, here's a link. We've got a cool lineup. 6 awesome artists. I can't sing as there's Wabi Sabi, there's M.0, and a couple of more people, and the name escaped me. I should load it. Peak was last Wednesday, and he was with I think Interphone and Chris Ochi, so please check it out. And Sonic Sunday is on the third Sunday of the month on Twitch, and it's run by Fez. Okay, I put all the link on the chat so you can follow all that and follow all the artists. And it's time for me to bring Christie. Everything. Here we go. Hi, Christie.
Hello.
I'm going to put. And as usual, you know, if you have got question for Christie Blizard, if you have got question for Christie Blizard, place them in the chat, and I'll relay them to you. Me also, we can interact with all of you. That would be awesome. How is your day going, Christie?
It's going pretty well. How's your day going?
Oh, it's okay. I'm, waking up, preparing the show, doing the show. And then later on do a little bit more music. I see that Hugo is here, Hugo Harry Paris. I see GR, Benjamin Iso, Malaki, Schmuster, Sensor Music, DB Polan, as known as Wasabi, Bob is here, Robert Morris, Tech 15, Conjuring with Rena, HR Terror, Lenny Automaker, yes, Chantal De Felice. I saw she's so excited to see Christie for the second time. Magic will happen, yes indeed. Where's Alpha Star is here also this morning. Peronosphora, I think, and Tangle Wave. Alright. So, Christie, who are you?
Well, I kind of view myself as kind of becoming trans species. And so I think part of my life has been trying to like rid myself of my humanness in a way and try to become maybe more plant-like and more I guess just like trying to communicate with other types of species that aren't only humans or earthlings. I would say.
All right, and I don't know, maybe can you tell us more about your outfit? I don't know how to describe it. Sorry.
Well, in 2017, I got a 3 masks made of female celebrities, and so this is my Scarlett Johansson mask. And so I view it kind of as a death mask. So as I try to, become more transhuman, I feel like I'm going through a kind of death cycle. And so this mask represents the kind of liminal space between death and a new birth. And so I wear it as my kind of death mask.
So, how did you get into music?
Well, I didn't really do it as a child, and I always wanted to. So I felt like I'm more of I've studied visual art. I'm an artist and I teach art, and so I have a background in visual art, but I was always being called to sound and to music, and so I think because I didn't study it as a child, I came to it more as trying to see the visualizations within sound. And so, about 10 years ago, in 2008, I started studying classical violin and then classical piano, and I wasn't good at any of them. But there was something about the texture of the sound that was like nothing else I'd ever experienced. And it was even greater to me than the visual art, what it could do and how it could heal and how it could like just transcend space, just like different times, and it just seemed to move through channels that but I was it's been a lot of practice, and then I got into synthesizers about 3 years ago, and then I've just this past summer I started getting into modular synthesizers, so I'm still pretty new to eurorack, but something about the electricity and working with those instruments, I feel like I finally found my medium with it. And so, but yeah, that's kind of how I came to music and sound.
Yes, and as we are talking modular synth and or synthesizer, uh, has discovered you on the frequency shift that the Southern California Synth Society host or take over, and I was hosting it, at least the part one, and then John Owens was doing the part two. So I discovered your performance, so that was quite awesome.
Oh, thank you.
How did you get? I don't know. How did you get into frequency shift?
Oh, somehow I ended up following them on Instagram. I think I saw a past advertisement, and then I saw their call, and I remember I saw it like 5 a.m. and it was like the first 20 performers or something to send us, and I immediately woke up and got up and just like sent it out right away, hoping to get in. So it was really just waking up early and seeing the call.
Uh, yes, and I don't know. Can you tell us a little bit more about frequency shift?
Well,
Or,
it
or,
was a
or
really
yeah, what was your experience and
oh, it was
what's frequency
great.
shift?
Oh, it's great. Well, it's for non-binary and female synthesizer players and synthesis. And so it was one of the first times, since I'm new to Eurorack, it was just so great to meet the synth community and to know that, I'm not alone in my love of synthesizers, that there's like just wonderful communities out there that are supportive, and so it's just been great. And I hope to get connected more because I live in Texas, and I play a lot regionally. And then I've traveled and I played in the Bay Area before COVID hit. And so I do travel and play, but it's really nice to have an outlet for live performances, since we haven't been able to perform live very easily recently. So
Yeah, and I hope that you can perform live. There's a couple of I don't know, streaming event. I co-organize one. Resident, I spoke about it earlier. There's
yeah,
Resonant Frequency here, and I think New York Modular and
yeah.
Colorado Modular also do open call.
Yeah, I'd love to. If yeah, like I just love to do it. So that's
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, and it's quite cool what the SoCal synth is doing with the frequency shift, and I like also the idea of taking over.
Yeah, yeah,
Get on somebody YouTube channel
yeah, yeah.
that allowed to reach. Um, Conjuring Arena, yes, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, if you have got some question for Chrissy, please, please come and ask them. So, tell us a little bit more on your modular experience, or your, how did, where did you start, and how did you
Yeah.
get to, I don't know, today?
Well, I have a really good mentor in sound because I have the Plum Butter and the Coco Quantus and the Toccanti Fascis from Sayat Lombard, and so I started with more discrete instruments. And then my first module I think was maths, and then I got a morphogene. But the morphogene was like back ordered for 5 months. So, but I have a really good mentor, and so he helped me give me some advice on just how to set up my first skiff. And so it's kind of morphed into a drum machine now. But so I've just got I've got the Basimilus iteratus, and And then I just recently got a Benjamin that I really love, and I just got into rings, and I'm running that through, or I'm running ears through rings, through mass, through pressure points, and I'm really enjoying that because it's very string like, and so. But I'm still kind of learning that, so that wasn't played in this performance.
Yeah. I've got a question from Bob Robert Morris. What's the overall message you hope to get across with your music and visual arts?
What was the first part of that question? What is my
What is the message you hope to get
what is the
across
message?
with your music and visual arts?
Yeah, the message I would say, I think what I'm trying to do is connect people to different kinds of energies. And so the mask is meant to be kind of I don't know, shocking, and some of the sounds to kind of like defamiliarize ourselves with our space around us, so that we can experience different energies. And so what I try to do is just shift us into other forms of communication, or just to be open conduits for other energies, that can enter us. And so that's really what I try to do. I'm not sure if it's less of a message and more of a feeling.
Uh, yeah, and I think all that gone has got kind of a follow-up question. How is transhumanism manifested in your music practice?
Um, oh, transhumanism. Okay, yeah. So, um, I'm interested in how human beings can, um, like, not that, I mean, maybe a way to put it is kind of like decentralize ourselves, like whether it's post-humanism or transhumanism, to think about that we not only have the ability to have empathy with other things, but that other things are sentient, and they have things that they need us and we need them. I don't know if they need us, but they might need us. But I think we're so human centered now that my work is meant to be like, so if I'm going through my own personal death, how can we collectively go through a death to be kind of reborn as transhuman, to be able to have thoughts and experiences that are outside of ourselves, and so we're less egotistic and less selfish and less greedy.
Yeah, yes, indeed. It's I don't know I don't know, with the climate change and all these things. I think we need to have a little bit more global perspective than personal individual one. I missed a question from Conjuring Rena with Rena. Sorry, she was asking, was it a choice to exclusively do improv, or did you try the composer game for a bit?
Um, I That's an interesting question. I think what I'm trying to do is figure out what composition means for me with these synthesizers. And so as I practice, I find that I practice in similar ways. So there's that fine balance between repetition and variation, or improvisation and composition. So I kind of, maybe it's the way I did define composition, is that there become like segments or different spaces, but within each of those spaces, improvisation happens. So I think it might be, for the way I seem to approach this, impossible for me to repeat something exactly. And so what I've found is just create, like I said, these spaces that can be definable or entered back into, but that within them there's improvisation.
Yeah, yeah. I found on modular synth when I do a performance, I rehearse at home, but it's more like to know what knobs is doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
than rather than to have at 2 minutes 35 I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It just, I know, okay, this is how things works together, and then based on the mood and the feeling, I'm gonna shift it them or change them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I've got plenty questions. That's okay. Peronosphora is asking, and sorry, there are that's maybe not a line. We are jumping from one subject to the other. Peronosphora is asking, who helps you to make all these wonderful costumes?
Um, oh, I make them all myself. Yeah, so I use a lot of Gorilla Glue.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's the process or.
Oh, so I use well I do get designs printed. So I do like make the designs and then send them somewhere else and then, they print the designs. But so it's basically I created this kind of costume form in 2019. So it hasn't been that long, and so there's upholstery fabric or upholstery foam, which what gives it its sculptural quality, and then just two sides of fabric. So it's actually just a pretty simple silhouette. So the construction of it is actually really easy. Um,
Do you I don't know? Do you have some merch?
do it. Oh no, I don't. I don't. No, I don't have any merchandise.
Not yet.
Maybe
Maybe
someday. Yeah.
I had to follow the question. I see. I don't know. DJ Sherry the love. She says she loves this discussion, and also being sentient. And the next husband is wondering, yes, how to make music without being human centric in the music. Can you make
No.
music for non-human? Oh, yeah. It's. I don't know. It's a good question. Robert is asking, is a mask an effort to depersonify your art? Like, you don't want to be associated with your art, kind of. That's what he's asking. You talk about it that it was kind of your death mask.
Yeah. So yeah, I view it kind of as like my own identity has the potential to be erased, and so um yeah, I mean, I guess it's even though I make the work, I guess like I'm saying, I'm trying to remove myself from it and just be like a conduit for, I guess, a specific kind of energy. So yeah, I try to remove autobiographical information, I guess.
Yeah, I see. Sometimes we had this discussion, like, um, know that how do you do a video of your modular scene, because not everything is streamed online or to be online, and people don't like to show their face, but at the
Yeah.
same time it seems that fans relate to the person that
Yeah.
makes the music, sometimes more than the music itself, because they want to
Yeah.
see the person performing. So that's interesting to to work with this concept. We see you, but then it's not you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, how do you feel?
I mean, I don't I guess I'm gonna wear the mask as long as it feels right and it still feels right to wear it. There might come a time where I no longer wear it. So I guess it's like after I've gone through the process of dying, then I can stop wearing it.
Um, just checking. Alex Barnett just joined us, and um, oh yeah, Poland say all I can figure it out is what music my cat doesn't like when he runs out of the room. That's a way to figure it out. What's resonate with some animals. Um, yeah, no, it's interesting, this relationship between your personality, your emotion, and the music. I've seen you doing also. I don't know, was it a music video on Instagram?
Yeah, yeah, I wanna I've also been working with 3D animation, and so I just started learning that this summer too, and but I'd like to get into some music videos. I think that would be a really good combination of like visual art and the music. And so that's actually next on the horizon, start to make some music videos.
And I think Peronosphora is asking, what last three concert you went to, or what's the last concert you went to, or who are the artists that inspire you?
Um, well, I think the late Genesis George is really influential to me, both as an artist and as a musician. Um, I have not been to a concert, to a show in a long time. But my friend and mentor Craig Dongofsky, his synth music is also really, really beautiful, and how he thinks about electricity. So I would say those two right now.
It looks like Conjuring Rena has got some background information. What's the drive behind the opera?
What is the
Drive
Oh,
behind
the
the
drive
opera.
behind the opera. Yeah. So I just finished filming an opera that was in a rodeo coliseum. And so it was based on the 100th year anniversary of the tenor Enrico Caruso, who gave a famous performance it was called the Cowtown Coliseum in Fort Worth. So basically, I created an opera that in this rodeo coliseum that's about it's someone acting as me with this mask, who goes through a kind of death process and then meets other spirits, and then eventually gets reborn. And so I just finished filming that, and so I'm editing it right now, and so I'll be done with that in March.
And where should we be able to find it?
I will definitely post it on my website, and I can send it out to everybody who's interested. But for the opera parts, I actually use synth sounds, so the opera singers actually sing like the synthesizers.
What do you mean?
Like because I don't write music or read music, I gave them segments that I created and composed, as like just wave files, and then they sometimes they created something like it, but if they also transposed it and then sang it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah. So you give them, I don't know, a melody or a sound, and usually they've got the ear to to match the pitch, I guess.
Yes,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
and then be a kind of guideline, and they can improvise on it.
yes, yes,
Did you remove the original sound from the
yes,
performance?
yes, yeah.
That's interesting as a process.
Yeah, yeah, it turned out really, really beautiful. Some of the way they interpreted synth sounds and kind of simplified it and made it more like kind of vocalized was really cool to watch how they did that.
And Constitution Arena say, is Texas has got a specific role in your artistic process?
Um, just let's see, does Texas have a specific
Yeah.
role? I mean, I'm from rural Indiana, so I'm not really a native Texan, but I do like Texas. And so I guess I just feel so alien here that I think Texas becomes like an interesting backdrop for, just being really like, just so strange, I guess. Like the absurdity of Texas as a backdrop to my kind of like alien invasion seems like a good fit.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Um, we are getting at the you know yeah, close to 11:30 at least here in the Bay Area. So it's gonna be time for your performance. I don't know. Do you want to introduce your performance? Do you want to talk about it, or should I just play it and then we talk about it later?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Just checking who's here. I think Alex Barnett, Tanglewave just joined us, and I say, oh yeah, Robert Morris and saw you on Frequency Shift, and then I saw that he sent a few emails to his friend to say, oh, you have to come and watch Christie.
Cool. Thank you.
You've got a fan here. All right, so I put the site of Christie Blizard, so don't forget to, I don't know, you can like a site, but to follow our site. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click like on this show so you can keep updated. So I think it's time to launch Christie Blizard performance. Here we go. Well, that was really nice. Thanks, Christie Blizard.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of people saying, yeah, performance was awesome, really awesome. Really liking this performance. That was cool. I see earlier they were talking, about the bass line when he was going through them. What was the inspiration for this track?
Um, I really wanted to get more of the drums involved, and I'm starting to get the Benjalin was that bass line that early that I think a lot of people were writing about. So I think I'm trying to fuse the Benjalin with more traditional kind of rhythms and just get more drones in, and then I use the human touch controller by the landscape company or whatever, and so it like picks up different radio frequencies. So that's always interesting. Like whatever's on the radio, I guess like the closest radio. So that often like will kind of set the tone for some of the pieces too.
Yeah, give a little bit of randomness.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, that's very interesting. I see all the claps are coming, there's always a little delay. And I was seeing there was a lot of people following on Periscope, so if you want to join us on YouTube, you can ask questions. And also, people on YouTube, Facebook, please ask your question to Christie. Or maybe on Twitch also. I don't have too much a big following on Twitch. People really like it. I think some people were asking, so where can we get the music?
Yeah, I need to go through a lot of pieces and start to put them on Bandcamp. So, I really appreciate that people were saying that, and I will make a Bandcamp account and start to fine tune these more and put them up there in the next probably few weeks.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
What is the other way is that you can always rewind and replay this show is always
Oh, yeah,
it's always available after going live.
that's true.
And if you have got comments, just put it in the comment section. So there's a live chat for asking you direct question, but in the comment section, I'll make sure that if anybody has question, I'll forward it to you. One is joining, so he's asking again what was the inspiration with the mask. I think one you need to rewind a little bit. But I don't know if you want to. What do they call it? Reset the room and explain the mask again.
Well, the mask is inspired by the Egyptian death mask, the tradition of, making a mask of someone's face, after they die and wear that during death. So this is a mask of Scarlett Johansson that I wear as I feel like my life as an artist is going through a process of dying and being reborn.
So let's go back a little bit to the performance. I saw you had Siat Lombard. So
Uh-huh.
how did you discover this instrument?
My mentor, Craig Dongovsky, he really was a huge fan of Sight Lombard, and so the first one that I have the plum butter and the cocoa quantus, and then the tocanti fasci, and so I got the plum butter first, and then it's amazing, and then the cocoa quantus is kind of like the heart of what I do.
And I've never well, I've seen performance with this instrument, but I don't think I ever tried it or whatever. Or is the approach to this instrument? You know,
The Coco Quantus has different inputs and then loopers, and so you can take an external audio, and then it also has, I believe, 5 oscillators, so it produces its own audio, and then there's ways to modulate the oscillators, and then it has two-track independent loops, and so you can record and then play back, and so it's really versatile. It's a great kind of like noise sound composing kind of machine.
and I suppose it's in eurorack audio level, so you can just plug modules directly into it and back and forth.
I have like one of those passive plugs. I don't have any Eurorack plugged into it now, but yeah, you have to go through If you want to modulate it through like the audio through the cocoquantus, you have to go through this like
Converter.
yeah. But yeah, you can take the audio in and modulate it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I don't know. I see, like with the Buchla, the audio level are okay, but for the like for instance, the pitch is at 1.5 volt, so it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So you need some kind of converters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you so also how you were making this bass line?
That is the Benjalin. So that was just I have the triangle wave going out, and it's really just that aspect of the Benjalin that was creating the kind of circular bass lines. Yeah.
That's interesting. Um, and maybe it's also time to talk about your projects. So what are the next weeks and next months?
Yeah.
What are your projects or what's coming up?
Yeah. Well, I'm still editing the opera, so that'll be finished, and I'll have an art exhibition with that in March. And then I'm doing a live stream with Paradise Palace later in February. So those are the two things that I have upcoming. And then, yeah, hopefully some more live stream events will come up and just a lot of practice and that kind of thing. A lot of
Yeah,
playing.
yeah, and also some more visuals.
Yep, yep, yep. Try to make my first music video soon, hopefully.
Yeah, you've got the music,
Yeah,
or
I will.
it's both. Everything is new.
Everything is kind of in process right now. So,
And
yeah.
how do you do your music video? You've got friends to help you? I don't know.
Well, I've been studying Blender, which is a 3D animation program, and so because I have all the background in art, it's still a pretty. So I'm making the animations basically. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it will be a complete animation, or you will have some video element.
I'm not sure yet. I'd like to maybe. Yeah, there'll probably be a combination of video and animation. Yeah.
Yeah, I've played a little bit with Blender. I have an animation which is
Oh,
that I
cool.
did for my new album. I don't know,
Oh,
something simple but nice. I don't know. Um,
that's great.
I just need to put it together, and I've been I don't know, sitting on it for months.
Wow, that's so cool.
But yeah, I kind of like Blender.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um, yeah, I'm still, music video is always confusing, and I don't know. I don't have people to help, so I kind of do everything together. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody to be behind the camera, so you can
Yeah,
perform and they can take nice.
yeah, yeah.
So I want to remind people you're on live from the studio. I've got Christie Blizard. If you want to ask some questions, then put them on the chat, and I'll relay them to Christie. It's been quite a performance, and yeah. I discovered Christie on the frequency shift. You heard there's an opera coming up, maybe some music and Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Robert Morris said we want it now. Okay. No delay.
Oh,
He was talking also about my album. It's well, I release it on my Bandcamp for the subscriber.
okay.
It's not a public release, so you need to you need to become a supporter on Bandcamp and then follow me there. Yeah. Um, and I don't know. I don't know what's the area in where you are in Texas. Have you
Mm-hmm.
got some other modular synth performers? Have you got an artist community there?
There's a little bit of one. I live an hour from Austin, and I think there's more of a kind of like experimental music scene in Austin. So, but there's not that much of a modular scene here in San Antonio, but there's a little bit more of one in Austin. And I believe there's, like you said, there's Houston Modular Society. So that's probably got the most people in Texas.
Yeah, and I guess there's North by Southwest every year.
Yeah.
except this year.
Yeah, I know.
Have you
Yeah.
have you been to it?
No, I haven't been to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know friends here from time is trying to bring some artists in North by Southwest, but that's quite an adventure to do that.
Yeah.
Still looking about local show.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So people are looking forward to see more of your project.
Oh, good. Thank you.
No,
I'm
I think
excited to
yeah,
I'm excited to play more, yeah.
it's interesting with I don't know, the costume and the music relationship. And
Yeah.
you know, what do you think is your progression in music?
I think when I started, I was it was much noisier. And so I think what I'm learning to do is to craft it more, kind of thinking about it like sculpture and to think about the form of the sounds as much as possible and how that happens over time. And it's really hard, because it's, you kind of only get like one chance. So it takes a lot of practice. But that's been the trajectory, is just to get kind of move from noise to music and um, just to try to tap into like the different energy channels that come through the synthesizers.
And you say you are doing visual arts, so do you find a relationship between visual arts and making music? Do you have the same concept or the same relationship?
Um, it's similar. Art can happen, like you see it kind of immediately, right? And so with music, it happens over time. And so um it's the process is similar, in a lot of ways, and learning something and having discipline, but it's like they're kind of different languages in a lot of ways, although they have so many parallels, like how one like how one embraces chance, how one can begin to understand form and rhythm and composition. All of those are extremely similar, but the way that it happens, is different. The form it takes.
Yeah, I saw a quote. What was it? But like uh, you got a good critic. You know what's good and what's bad, and when you start in the art, then what you do usually is the beginning is bad, but
Yeah.
your analysis of it is still good. It's good. It's just learning how to execute it.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
that's sometimes what I'm struggling for. Well, I've got an idea and you know getting it in reality.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, we are arriving at the top of the hour. This is usually the time I start to wind down
Okay.
and close the show. Um, if you want to do some shout out or to people's or projects or stuff, uh, your chance. If we haven't covered something that you would like to talk about,
No,
uh,
I'm good.
good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so much for having me.
no, that's really cool. I'm gonna go redo the news and uh, I'll we'll come back to you and then chat.
Okay.
Need to change that and here. Sorry, doing a little bit of the background process. All right. My site pitchymango.org. I want to thank all my supporters who are on Bandcamp, and as I talk later, there's some exclusive for my supporter. Usually, I pre-release album, so I make them public as I finish everything. So if you want to join Bandcamp, it's a little bit like Patreon. $20 a year, it's nothing. I just remember that 2 years that Juan Rosales was here, as soon as phuturo, we organized the FM Plus One mystery event at the Armory Club. You can watch it on YouTube. That was the first event that we organized rather than to be other people's event. Just after that, I don't know, 12 p.m. Oh, it just started. So You've got Nameless Modular Madness, which is with the organized by the SoCal Synth Society. Little video. We are back. Let me put this link onto the chat so you can have it too. I've got my friend Caleb who's doing a show this Sunday at 5 p.m. You can have it on his YouTube channel. He's inviting Todd Barton, who does Bukla and other music here. There's a competition for quadrophonic piece on Clarke. Check it out. I submitted the piece. You can find it on SoundCloud. The hashtag is Make Music in Space. There's a couple of other submissions also. Teeny Crush mixing. Let me find the link. If you need to have your song mix, some modular synth, whatever. And there's a discount code for you. Malarkey released a new album. It's on not a new album, a new track on the Bandcamp. It's Apparition. I've seen also he did some visual with it. You've got Chris Ochi with the album Merlin Voice. Chris Ochi is going to be in the next show. I think I've got a pick for it. There we go. So that's Chris Ochi, which will be on the next show on Saturday, 13th of February. And I gave you his new album on Bandcamp. We'll talk about it. And he was last Wednesday on Peak also, if you want. And Intan Fun was also on the chat as released a new album. I think that's all the news that I can type here. Oh, that's my everything that is in my wish list. Back order. Come back to Christie. Here we go. So I'm with Christie Blizard. And just checking on the chat if there's one last question. No, everybody's was really happy to see your stuff. I'll let you the word for the end, and we can say bye to everybody.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it.
Right. Thanks everyone. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, follow. If you're watching this show after the live, and put comments, I'll read them, I'll answer them. Thanks everyone for joining the show. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.